tea, Vicar?
Yes, please. Did I ever tell you about the mystery of the old age pensioner who'd been shopping in Norwich and who apparently became the victim of a time slip? This is what happened. It happened years ago when I was living there and working as the deputy head of Helsden High School, which was one of the Norwich comprehensives. Two old pensioners had parked their car in Cathedral Close near a rather quaint Victorian toilet, which was for gentlemen only, and you had to descend the stairs in order to use it. The old lady sitting in the car was waiting for her husband to come back from having descended the stairs to this old Victorian toilet, and time passed and he didn't return. She became increasingly anxious in case he had fallen on the stairs or had a heart attack or been taken ill, and called a traffic warden who was a very friendly and helpful man. She explained her anxiety about her husband, and he said, "I'll go down and have a look for you, madam." Down the toilet steps he goes, searches the three little cubicles, which were the sort of full toilets at the bottom, as well as having a urinal wall, and there was nobody there. Comes back and tells the lady in the car, "I have searched it thoroughly, and there's no sign of anyone, nobody who's been taken ill or collapsed." And the lady was totally at a loss. She said, "I didn't see him coming out again." And time passed. Another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, and he appeared at the top of the steps where the traffic warden had said there was nobody underneath. Got into the car and said, "Just get my breath back, love, I'll tell you in a minute." And when he'd recovered sufficiently to tell her what had happened, he said this: "I used the toilet, came up the steps in the normal way. You weren't here. The car wasn't here, but on the adjacent road there were cars of a design I have never seen passing silently along that top road." And he said, "And my guess was that they all had electric engines." He said, "I couldn't understand what had happened, and then I remembered having read years ago in science fiction story about someone who had been involved in a time slip, that by retracing his steps he'd got back to his proper time. So I went back down the steps, waited for a few moments, came up again, and everything was normal. You were here, my car was here, and there was no sign of this strange phenomenon." Now, what do we make of a story like that? What had really happened to the gentleman who used that old Victorian toilet just outside Norwich Cathedral? The only possible explanation seems to be that time for him had slipped, and he'd been projected into the future, and fortunately for him, having read the science fiction story in which, by retracing your steps and trying to reenact what had happened to you, you could get back to your own time. And of course that story raises all kinds of intriguing questions. What is time? What are the theories of time? Is it, as some of the great physicists have argued, a fourth dimension? Is it possible that we experience time inside ourselves, that it is a subjective experience? Shakespeare says that time goes at different speeds. Sometimes it walks, sometimes it runs. The happier we are, the faster it goes. The more miserable we are, the slower it goes. So is it subjective or objective? Is there any way that we can control it? Is there any way that we can travel through it? There are so many cases of mysterious appearances and disappearances. There's Caspar Hauser in Nuremberg, just turned up in the town square. Had he been a victim of a time slip, apart from the other explanations that were put forward later. And those mysterious disappearances, somebody just vanishes, like Benjamin Bathurst, who had been a diplomat during the Napoleonic Wars. Ben Bathurst just got out of the inn where he'd been staying. His secretary, valet, assistant was holding the coach door open for him. Ben walked around the heads of the horses and was never seen again. Did he fall into a time slip? It would be interesting to know if somebody ever appears at a different time, calling himself Ben Bathurst.